Hey guys, so let me just make a disclaimer really fast because I'm like outside by our pool, and one, I am not naked. I am wearing like a strapless top, so like just getting that out there. And two, our backyard doesn't usually look like this, but we're having our deck completely redone, so it looks like a tornado has hit it. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I've had this kind of on my heart for a while, and I haven't really known how to do a video on it because it's not really like a normal thing for me to film, but I thought I would do a video kind of talking about my anxiety slash depression slash I really don't know what to call it, because I've had it for a long time and I've struggled with it, and I kind of feel now that I have a little like circle of friends who I've met online, which I think is normal now in, the 21st century, that it's something that maybe I can get some support with, or have people tell me that they have similar experiences or whatever else. But this might be a little bit of a long video. I'm hoping I can edit it through iMovie. I don't know if it gets kind of rambly, but and also if you hear like some scampering, my dog is scampering around in the woods behind me, so just bear with me on that. But anyway, let me give you a little bit of background. Right now I'm 24, gonna be 25 in like 2 months. And both of my parents, I'd say were anxious people. My dad is very type A, very intense, and my mom is a pretty anxious person as well. It's both. I would assume that it's something that it's genetic, but my anxiety mostly manifests in a social sense, and we didn't really realize this until I was older, because when I was really young in school, we moved around a ton when I was younger because my dad's job, he would go where they wanted him. And so, I mean, I was in 3 different first grade classes in 1 year, and like 2 different fourth grades in a ton of different schools. And in elementary school, I never had a problem making friends. I never had an issue with, having like people to go over to their house and spend the night, or having friends in class or anything. I was always really able to thrive where I was put when I was younger. I would say that it kind of started to switch in around 6th grade. In middle school, when I moved to a different school. It was a really small school. I think my class only had 14 or 15 people in it. But I think that's when a lot of my anxiety, my social anxiety, must have started manifesting, because throughout middle school and high school mostly, I only had like 1 or 2 really good friends. I did really good in like one-on-one settings, or like little groups of friends, like not big groups of friends. And that was through middle school. I had 1 really good friend, and then it kind of morphed into 2 really good friends, a guy and a girlfriend, that were they were like my best friends through the beginning of high school when I was still at the same school because it was so small. And then we moved my senior year of high school from a class of 21 to a class of 650, 700 people. And I had been at a private school before, and I moved to a public school in Minnesota. And I don't think that I really was able to deal with it as best as probably a lot of other people could. I mean, I had 1 friend that I had met through like the new kid program, where she kind of showed me around. She was my really good friend for a long time, and she kind of introduced me to her group of friends, which at the time it was like an atmosphere that I had never been in, because I had been in a private Christian school for middle school and most of high school except for my senior year. And I went to a school where kids were drinking and doing drugs and sleeping with boys, and I had never had my first kiss. I didn't have my first kiss till I was 17 years old. I didn't feel like I fit in with these people, so I did whatever I could to fit in, and I feel so bad about it now, because it put so much stress on my parents and their marriage. But I drank for the first time at 17. I snuck out of my house for the first time at 17, just because I felt like I had so many experiences in life to catch up on, and I didn't I didn't really know how to like fit in otherwise. I'm kind of a people pleaser. I don't really know how to tell people no. I haven't been really good about standing up for myself, so I think that had a lot to do with it. Because I hadn't ever been exposed to peer pressure or whatever you want to call it. It's just been one of those things that I'd heard about, but I didn't think it actually like ever existed. So my senior year of high school is hard, and I think that's when I started really having like the anxiety manifest itself into where my parents thought that I was depressed. And doctors thought I was depressed, and I was diagnosed with depression. I think it was a wrong diagnosis, because this also, it's another tangent, but another avenue of my anxiety is I didn't get my driver's license until I was 19 years old. I was terrified to drive, and it wasn't so much that I was terrified to drive because I thought I was going to be in an accident or I was going to be, killed in a car wreck. It was having to get in a car with a driving instructor and take the driving test and have me be like judged and graded on my ability to drive. And that test, the thought of taking that test crippled me from being able to drive. So all throughout high school, I didn't drive. I graduated high school without having a driver's license. I started college without having a driver's license. It just didn't matter to me because it was just such a crippling thought to have to get in a car with a driving instructor and then have him say, oh, well, you failed the driver's test. So I didn't do it till I was 19 years old. It just was something that was not important to me. My anxiety controlled that about my life until I was 19 years old. So backtracking, so that was a big part of it. So that's, I was in counseling because my parents wanted me to drive and they wanted me to get over my fear of doing that. And this was in Minnesota when I was getting ready to graduate high school. And so I graduated high school and I went to the University of Minnesota, satellite campus of the University of Minnesota. And that was the first time I'd ever been away from home. And I went crazy. I didn't go to class like I was supposed to. I was drinking all the time. I gained a lot of weight. Nothing really mattered but fitting in with everybody. And it destroyed me. Like, not even being dramatic, it destroyed me. I got out of my freshman year at the end of the year with 3 credits, was on academic probation, was not going to be allowed to come back, so I wasn't even planning on going back to Morris. So I came back home, and didn't really know what to do. My parents didn't know what to do because at the time that I was in Morris, I was prescribed Zoloft, an antidepressant. And me being the 18-year-old little delinquent, I guess you could say that I was just like, oh, I only need it when I feel sad, and I don't need to take it all the time. And one thing I can say to anybody that's on antidepressants or any kind of anti-anxiety medicine is take it how the doctors tell you to take it. Do not think that you can stop taking it when you feel better, because that's exactly what I did. Is I took it when I thought I needed it, and then one day I just decided I didn't need it anymore and I stopped taking it cold turkey. And I had what they call a serotonin withdrawal, and I literally lost my mind. I was in my room, my dorm room, because I didn't have a roommate. I was in my dorm room for probably like 4 days without coming out, and my RA came with our building manager and opened the door and was like, we needed to see that you were still viable in here. And you would have thought that that was a wake-up call for me or something like that, and it wasn't. And so I left school, I came home, I started going to a community school and kind of got back on track. And my parents kept me off of the medicine because they were like, if you're not going to take it correctly, we're not going to pay for you to take it, which is fine, because I didn't really feel like myself on it. And sometimes I feel like certain medicines aren't right for certain people, and I strongly believe that Zoloft was either the dose they had me on or the medicine itself was too harsh on me. So I was off of medicine for a few years, and I did really well for a while.